All right. Here we go. Game 3. Up at the top left. In the red. Up 2-0. It's Soulkey. And his opponent to the bottom right. In the blue, it's Sen. And this has been a lot of people are telling me anyways, I didn't catch it and you can probably tell me better, but saying that Sen actually looked really good in both games. They just couldn't quite
It's very close games. You know, they've really gone down to the wire with just a few mistakes by Sen really costing him the game. Game 1 was positional more than anything else. Game 2, getting that spire snipe, getting put out of position, kind of dragged around the map with Zerglings, and then Mu just coming from behind and kind of just taking out that spire, which really cost him the game. So we're going to have to kind of... Sen has kind of been leaning towards gasless expansions both games. So it'll be interesting to see what he goes this time.
Yeah, that style is really popular in Korea right now as well. Just getting the extra queens out and holding without the gas.
Yeah, Soulkey going for the more traditional style of expansion with gas, fast speedlings, and kind of controlling it from there. But Sen also been playing very safe the last 2 games. Getting a pool before hatchery.
Yeah, both players actually going pool before hatch in this game, so...
Don't want none of that. Don't want none of that 9 pool.
No, none of that 9 pool, none of that shenaniganry. And it's a 2-player map, so there's always the threat that your opponent could go for that. And if you're Sen right now and you're down 2-0, I definitely don't blame him for going pool first here.
Absolutely.
So we'll see who takes gas first. That often kind of determines how ZVZ plays out in the early game.
That's right. Whether it's going to be gasless or it's going to be going to have some speedling shenanigans, I guess.
Yeah.
And it looks like both going for kind of a gasless right now.
Yeah, both of them just taking as many Merrills as they can get early on here. And Queen's on the way. So what happened in game 1? That's what I don't know. I heard there were roaches and banelings. That's
lots
what
of roaches,
Kim Fan told
lots
me.
of roaches, lots of banelings. Essentially, Sen went for the gasless expansion, and Soulkey identified it, went a speedling build, took it faster, kind of controlled Sen for a while. Sen went into speedling, kind of like surprise speedling to cancel the third base of Soulkey. Soulkey killed all the Zerglings and returned the favor, canceled Sen's fast expansion. Then it kind of went into like a mass roach war.
Okay.
But the transition was Sen went into Hydras and Soulkey went into Banelings. And
to counter the Hydras.
Banelings will crush Roach Hydra just about every time with good positioning. And yeah, then it kind of went down to like a very positional fight. And yeah, Sen had a really bad position and he just took so much damage from the Banelings.
Okay, well that's really interesting. You know, we see every now and then Banelings used to deal with Hydras, and it's always kind of exciting because one of the rarer compositions.
It's definitely a more fun one to watch. Yeah, Sen really needed to get Infestors, and if he has Infestors, I mean, he can really shut down that army's
composition. If Banelings can't move, then they can't do anything.
And it takes 2 Infungals to kill like 20 Banelings, so
exactly.
You've got to be careful with that.
For sure. Well, gas is now going down finally here for Soulkey.
Both players going for 5-minute gases, which is very standard for a gasless, and I would be very surprised if we don't see both players going for pretty much a mass roach.
Mass roach, yeah. On this
map. Probably some speedling into mass roach.
Yeah, this map I feel is all about the third base, taking that and holding that, and if your opponent, you know, forces a cancel on you once or twice and denies that mining, denies that gas, especially, it can really hurt you. Oh, looks like we're going to see Sen lose an Overlord here.
Going to get a free Overlord. Both players, I guess. Well, it certainly shows that Soulkey is not afraid to show what kind of build he's going. Having 2 queens out in the middle of nowhere kind of gives you a good idea that it's going to be a gasless kind of build. For
yeah, absolutely. If you show the queens like that, it's like, okay, well, he has got the extra queens. He's not losing injects to do this. Definitely not.
You know.
It's also showing a lot of confidence when you send the queens out like that, knowing that your opponent doesn't have any speedlings to come and surround and kill them.
That's right. And both players pretty much getting speedlings at Zergling speed at the same time. And a faster Roach Warren for Soulkey.
Yeah, he's going to have that pretty early. They're making a lot of Overlords right now, too. Do you think he's actually going to be aggressive with that?
I actually think he's going to be aggressive with that. If we don't see any Evolution Chambers in the next minute or so, it could very well be a Roach Speedling all-in.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great idea. I mean, Sen has already taken his third base, so he's already invested into macro.
Yeah, and he scouted that as well.
And
so
here come the Roaches, so it actually is going to be a timing attack. And I think this could very well kill right now.
Yeah, I think it could. He doesn't have a whole lot. He's making only speedlings now.
There's no Roach Warren up, so it could very well kill from here.
Yeah, especially if he jumps right into the double upgrades here without starting the Roach Warren. He doesn't know this is coming, and there it is. I mean, just a full-on speedling Roach attack. 18 more Zerglings on the way.
Queens are definitely trying to clear out these overlords, trying to stop anything from being seen. So it's going to be a kind of like a last-minute surprise. The Roach Warren finally going down for Sen, but these Roaches are going to be in his base before it is anywhere near finished.
Yeah, this is a big problem. He's trying to catch these units here in the middle of the map, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop this attack. He does have speed completed now as well, and there's just way too many Roaches for Soulkey. If he goes for the third base, he'll most certainly kill that.
He's going to have to go for like an amazing Zergling surround. And that's pretty much his only hope right now.
Yeah. And
this is not a good position because these Roaches can sit in that little gap.
He's actually going to kill the Roach Warren. If he kills the Roach Warren, then, I mean, I think that's basically game. There's no way that Sen can actually make any Roaches here. He does not get the surround that he wants.
And this is going to do at least so much damage. I mean, drone's already being pulled, so they're going to get killed. And this is putting him so far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. He still doesn't have that Roach Warren, and these Spinecrawlers are not ready. He's losing way too many Harvesters here, and the Queen trying to help out. And it looks like that's going to do it. Sen is going to fall here, 0-3 to Soulkey, the Korean pro.
Very convincing last game. Very cool strategy.
He's basically trying to flank here at the end, but even the Queens don't go down because of those transfuses. And even if he holds this off now, he's just lost way too much.
It's just too late. Yeah, it's just too much damage. And here comes more Zerglings, and that's just gonna clean it up, and it's gonna be GG.
Yeah, absolutely. The Queen here trying to get one last inject. Not going to matter. Sen a good showing in this series, but Soulkey, the Korean pro, a lot of people favoring him to take it, does win 3-0 GG.
And that's the problem with doing the same strategy 3 games in a